long journey.
It's crazy. We just found out my son dyslexic.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, it was so crazy. Like, I used to get so mad at him, like, because he would rather cry himself to sleep than read a page.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad it was for him. But it was crazy because we went to the little test that they do or whatever, and the therapist told us everything's fine. Like, he's good. Like, he just needs a little bit of push. And then we get the results in the mail after like a month, and the results say he's dyslexic. But the therapist didn't tell us. Yeah. So I'm just sitting here pushing him, not knowing he's dyslexic, not trying to figure out all the...
punch in the face. You like, just read this. Like, fuck you, bro. Fuck you, Ezekiel.
Exactly.
I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting. I'm just fitting. This shit have been on my mind for quite some time. I gotta put the shit on the line. I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting.
So shout out to Bray. We got past motherfucking 50.
We did.
So shout out to him for that. And with that being said, welcome
back.
Welcome back.
We back.
Welcome back.
We
welcome
back.
all the way to hell back to yet another episode of Dropping of the Dymes.
Dropping of the...
If it's your first episode, or if it's your 96th episode with us. My name is Byron.
I'm Wallace.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is the Dropping Dymes podcast. As you can see, we got a splash of color on the podcast today. We got a little something different. I lovingly call him Kung Fu Kenny since I met him. Kenny Andren.
Sure. I'm glad you said it. I was gonna fuck it up.
I saw your eyes sparkle a little bit. I was like, nope, Andrew.
I got it.
We'll go ahead and try it again.
Appreciate it.
Kenny is a part of our flag football team, man, and you know we talk about that a lot. We ain't gonna bore y'all with it again today.
Nope.
But just know that we won the motherfucking championship. Big Smoke, not the little one. But Kenny came in and jumped right in, man. And he was a part of those pieces that we were talking about. Some of our new pieces that we brought in that brought a different type of energy to the team this year. Made some people tighten up and made some people play a little bit above what they had been playing in the past because they realized that there was somebody there to take their spot.
Somebody capable. Yeah. It's funny how that played a huge part in this season. In certain guys.
A lot of areas.
Yeah, you feel that fire. You feel that fire.
Yeah.
Makes you play way harder.
Look,
for sure.
I wasn't even there at the first practice Kenny came to, but I got phone calls. So I'm like, hey, Kenny was out there ball. Kenny was doing this. After that, certain folks started doing different things.
Yeah.
Call him up.
Oh, Tyree started. Okay. He started doing something.
I can't wait to point out Tyree the next episode.
Hey, we was talking about you in the... Never mind.
Nah, but honestly, look, we've seen and known about Kenny for probably the last 5 years. Whenever Kenny and Tim came over and played in that tournament with us. And we've been kind of trying to get them on our team. We've really been trying to get Tim on the team.
We said we weren't on board him with that shit.
Yeah.
We said we weren't on board him with that shit.
We talking
part
about
of the team now. We're glad to have him.
Yeah. So we've known Kenny for years, but we never really got a chance to really get to know him as a real person until he got on our team.
As a real person.
Yeah. I mean, he was a number over there. He was a figure over there.
I feel it.
But now that I know him, I've had time to be on the team, talk with him. Kenny's just a dope person. Like, we're going to talk about
Appreciate it.
His culture, his ethnicity, his color, like a person. This man right here showed a lot in a space where a lot of people aren't humble. And he brought humility. He brought that mindset that whenever it's my time, I'm going to be ready for it. And that's the culture we're trying to develop on our team, but also within ourselves. Is when it's my time, I'm gonna be ready. Until then, I'm not gonna bitch and complain and whine to the world. You might go home to your wife or something and say something, but that's what she there for. But Kenny, glad to have you on the show, my brother. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Welcome.
as always, the guest has to pay everybody $20.
Okay.
Before you leave, we'll
just
collect that tax.
Just wait on that.
Okay.
Wait on that. He's coming.
You pay Brandon dues.
Yeah.
Man, you right. Shit.
Somebody got to.
Man,
But
I'm glad you know.
for real, man, we really do appreciate you coming on, man.
Don't let me leave without them dudes.
Because
Man, you a grown man. You don't
Let me leave without them dudes.
Nah, you just stay here till you pay.
Go ahead, bro.
I just based on the conversation that we had before we started shooting and as we came in, I feel like it's gonna be a dope conversation, man.
Cool, man. I'm excited.
But yeah, as always, we do have a question of the week. Wallace, did you have a question of the week this week?
Nah, but I can get one.
All right. Brandon, did you have a question of the week?
No, but I can also get one.
All right. Whoever can get to it the fastest, go.
Oh my gosh.
So we don't have
All right, my question is, and it kind of will tie into what the whole topic of the day is. What was your relationship with opposite cultures? And I'm gonna just say, what was your relationship with white people when you were growing up, and your relationship with black people when we get to Kenny?
Brandon,
Let's just start with Kenny.
Oh, we're gonna start with
what was
Kenny?
your relationship with black people?
We should make him last and jump into the top.
Well, I tried to,
Yeah,
but you,
but the way that
you
nigga was looking like shit.
You was moving too slow.
Oh, my
right,
answer is real short. Oh,
All right, now I asked the question, make it a little longer.
yeah,
Okay,
I know.
go ahead, do your thing.
I didn't
You didn't know they existed?
know any white people when I was younger. I didn't like have no white friends or no shit like that.
You had white teachers?
White teachers for sure.
Okay.
Shout out Miss Morales. That was my favorite white teacher.
She was white?
Yeah, but R.I.P. to her also. Yeah, she
I
was
remember you
white.
talking about her before.
Morales.
Yeah, Miss
That's like
Morales.
Spider-Man.
Spanish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but maybe he didn't know. She just looked white.
No, she was white.
Oh, okay.
She might have married somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
true. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Her
right.
husband black.
But he could have been like Miles Morales.
He
He
might have
looked
been.
black.
He might have been Dominican.
No, he was a big black man.
Oh my god.
That's who
Making it
killed him.
worse.
He
Big
probably,
black.
That's who killed him.
man,
What?
he probably was on
He said he
witness
killed
protection.
her? Man, fuck that motherfucker.
That's
Oh, yeah,
so crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. But yeah,
Damn.
didn't grow up with many white people. That was probably my closest relationship as far as like with a white teacher. I think was probably Miss Morales. Yeah, that was 6th grade.
There wasn't no white folks at church? Like that one person? That one white person?
Oh, we had this one lady, who the deacon's wife, but I ain't never really say nothing to her.
Okay.
Nah.
I mean, this might be crazy to ask, but like, no, like bad interactions as a kid
Nah.
with some crazy white folk.
When I was in Gatlinburg one time on a ski trip, somebody rolled past and said niggas.
Yeah.
That was about it.
What do you think about white people? See, I mean, you didn't really have any real
Do I
direct
think
connection
about them?
when you were young.
Yeah,
Not now. I don't want to expose you.
I didn't. I don't know. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
I thought
just
it was
wasn't really a
wrong.
thought.
I thought it was wrong to say white. Goddamn, when I was younger, like white people, like you. Like,
What did you
it's a
say?
white. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
You don't say white. What
That's
the fuck? Like,
That's so crazy.
Caucasian.
no, I didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of people like the white dude, or the white
Damn,
guy, or the
Rich.
black dude. Over there.
So that's what I thought he was gonna say.
Nah. Then my grandma, she listening to her, I wasn't really like intrigued about white people anyway. My grandma from Mississippi.
Yeah.
And I told her that's the only black racist person that I knew. Hated white people. Didn't give a damn. Grandma, it's a whole new day. Like, can't trust them, can't do nothing. Like, you know. But yeah. Other than that,
It's probably built off some of her experiences, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
probably
for
built
sure.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. Mississippi.
Grandma's experiences are completely different than.
Yeah.
But she just ain't let the shit go.
I mean, honestly, like our parents' experiences are different than what ours. Because my dad tells me about stuff that he had to go to 3 different schools because they all ended in fights. He got expelled twice.
See, I went to the same high school my
Because
dad went to.
the same shit that they called him the N-word.
Yeah.
Like back in that time, you call me that, and it's
It's up.
It's up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, but nah,
Shit still
another
should
experience. Man, I thought about this shit the other day. I was in high school, bro. We went to a water park. Nah, listen, water park. We was in the little river pool shit, you know, and so we was coming up on this white family or whatever, you know, we just floating or whatever. And the kid, bro, I'm gonna say shit, he probably about 7 maybe. That man turned around and said, "Oh, black people." Listen.
No, that's insane, bro.
Listen. The way I felt in that moment was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the parents was like, "Oh my God."
Of course.
Bitch, y'all talking that. Like,
Come on.
They got that from the house,
bro,
man.
the look on their face, they got out. They got out. Like, what the, bro?
We gotta go.
That man was so disgusted. Nigga turned around. "Oh, black people." I was like, what the fuck? You know, people that the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So the shit was funny.
That's what I was gonna think. You was been laughing
Yeah,
at that
for
shit.
sure.
Yeah.
But it was like, what the fuck? Like, and then it was the shock on. I got more mad at the parent than the kid.
Yeah.
Cause shit, it's true. Y'all should do the same.
It's they true.
Yeah, you right, son. Let's get out. Then, get y'all bitch ass out. But the shockness though, I can't believe he just said this.
Yeah.
Nah, get your, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
You gotta
it
teach
was
you. ...
out loud and not just in the car how we usually say it.
Yep.
That's all. That's what they meant.
Yeah.
Like
But yeah.
it's the whole thing of, damn. It like my mom used to be like say you sorry because you sorry that you did it and not because you got caught.
Yeah.
It's
That's
real.
what Rihanna said, I might have to dive into that one.
Rihanna
But
said
let's do Kenny so it don't be like a big pause before he talk, and then we get into the other topic.
And we be full on racist.
Let's get some counter to
That shit was so
Y'all
funny.
just gonna edit it and
But that
put me in the back.
Ain't no editing. Straight like that.
We try not to do that.
Too much work.
Brady kill dog.
Bro, somebody wrote me about that shit. Go ahead,
They
man.
should.
Because it was because of you. You made you put too much on it.
Oh my
I just
god.
asked the question
But
again
you
and
added
again.
extra shit. Like, oh, you sure you want it? All right. Black people.
Yeah. No, it's funny because like growing up, I was always that white guy hanging out with all the black people. I mean, that's just kind of how it was. So, but I went to a school where like it was like in high school, it was like normal for all of us to mesh together. I mean, it was cool.
Right.
And then like my big thing growing up, like I was attracted to black girls. White girls didn't really hit those spots for
What
me.
you like about black women?
Man,
AKA your wife.
she's absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I mean,
He was trying to set you up.
I,
I mean, we was talking about in high school.
Yeah.
We're not talking about right now.
I mean, that was my girlfriend in high school. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
What got your attention?
You gotta watch this.
Yeah, you got to, bro. I'm
Gotta
telling
watch
you.
this.
Nice
He a
and
lie.
friendly.
I'll help you, brother. I
He a
got
lie. He a lie too.
But no, I mean, it was what was I dated another black girl when I was younger, and I went to her house one time. It was the first time I seen Black Santa, and
Confused
that
like a
was like, oh snap, okay, that I mean it makes sense, right? And
That's an interesting response.
I mean,
it makes sense. I like that.
It just makes sense, and like, just because like, there's so many bad things that go with race itself, you know, and raising, I can't imagine like being black and then raising my son to be like, oh yeah, this white dude brings presents to you, but all the other white people hate you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. But as a kid, I was able to realize like, okay, all this makes sense. I mean, this is just how it is.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid to say this is how it is, you know, but like,
But that's the truth.
it is the truth.
Yeah.
And it's not something I grew up with. My mama, I got an older brother, my dad. I mean, my dad, best friend, black. It's just real easy for me to just sit here and be like, yeah, these my people.
These my people.
Yeah. And like, also like one of the big things, like having conversations with like the white girls in high school or whatever, like none of them, it was never like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like we never had the same experiences. Yeah. So like I wasn't sitting there like, yeah, I had ramen noodles after school today, and she was like, what's ramen noodles? Because she eating good at the house. Yeah. She eating cheese with the ham, the little you know, just, and it's just like, what the hell?
Lunchables. Yeah. She had Lunchables. Yeah. She was at home being already.
Yeah. She had the $5.
What do they call those little the little appetizers when you go to like weddings and stuff like that? The
hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, I guess hors d'oeuvres, right? It comes with all the different meat and cheese and that's what I was talking about. Charcuterie board. Right. That's what they had right after school. You know what I mean?
I just learned about them.
But I mean, just the experiences weren't there. They weren't the same, and that was the biggest thing. Like, if I can't share experiences with you, it's just, what are we talking about?
That's big.
And that was one thing. Like with my wife, I could share experiences with her, and just like we could really see eye to eye, and that was something that was really big on just falling in love with her. Yeah.
I think you talked about something that could be a bigger topic, and like some of the issue. The reason that we have issues because we don't have any space around each other. Everything we learn about the other is from media or from somebody else's experience. But like the fact that you're living in close quarters in a day-to-day situation with people, you see the value in them. You see the things that they actually are instead of the things that are projected as negative. So that's something that honestly probably could help cure some of the racism that we have in the world.
Yeah, I mean, we sit here and like we'll go to these for tournaments. I mean, we'll go to these tournaments and like guys will be like, is this city a sundown town or whatever? And it's just like, I mean, nobody really knows, but it's like, is that really something we got to still worry about? You know?
It is.
I know that. But like, it sucks that is something you have to worry about. And then you go to that town and you meet people from that town and they not like that. But I'm sure there are people in that town, you know what I mean, that are bad people. But like, I mean, I used to do surveying, and we go into the middle of nowhere, and I mean like some crazy folk in the middle of nowhere, you know, and they don't care about your race. Don't be on their land. Period. And,
they don't like people.
Yeah, so it's real. I mean, the experiences that come with just being around everybody, and like I wanted to, like, I hate because my friends always say things like, oh man, you white, you good. And it's like, but I'm not that regular white person who wears like the collared shirts and the shorts and that like.
Yeah, cause you way more swaggy than me. Like it's easy.
But it's just like, how do you? I don't know how to portray myself as that because that's just not me.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I mean, yeah, if a cop pull me over, he see that I'm white. I mean, just the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, most people think I'm Latino.
Yeah.
I get that all the time.
I see that in the beard.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
In the beard. Yeah.
And I don't even have like. It's funny, like I get the darker features from my dad's side, who, like Cherokee Indian. My grandmother was Cherokee Indian, but my mom's side is like the white of the white. Her dad was Polish, like the European, there in the and I mean that's where my last name's from, is my mom's side.
So I knew that I was like, you know, when I read it, I was like, this got to be like European. Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask how to pronounce it, because it didn't necessarily have to be how it's spelled.
It's funny because there's a city in Spain.
A-N.
and it's called Andrew. There's a city in Spain called Andrew.
See, I ain't know that.
And I mean, I'm actually gonna visit in September. That's gonna be really cool.
Y'all like the kings and queens of Andrew?
I have
You got
no idea,
royal-
man. I need to get over there and
You
check it
got
out.
royal bloodline.
I really hope so. I hope it comes with a lot of money once I get over there.
That shit works out.
Oh man, you're the last one. This is great.
Hey, what's crazy is
Coming to
and
America
then-
in
look,
reverse.
think about it. And then he brings his son.
Oh, it's over.
Fuck their
It's
whole
over.
life up.
Oh, yeah.
So the only thing you liked about your wife was her personality and
Oh
things
my
that
god.
y'all. All right, you can say that for like.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What about you, big bro?
My experience wasn't like, especially like when I was little, it wasn't bad. We played sports, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think when you're a kid, it doesn't even register. You just want to have fun, you know what I'm saying? Like shit, it's really whoever playing that day.
Yeah.
You playing? You want to play? Let's play. As you get older and you start to experience more of the adult side of what race looks like, or what kids are taught by their parents or whoever about race, that's when you start to see the differences, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that was when we started experiencing. Once we got to like high school, especially like, well, junior high, you start to see it, you start to hear stuff, but high school for sure, it was like oh, the black school coming in, like, y'all, we need to see y'all birth certificates. Cause y'all old. We know y'all old. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And because they knew we was like, you know what I'm saying? We carried ourselves different. Because a lot of us were forced into adulthood a lot earlier than anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all wasn't held back.
Nah, we weren't held back. Shit, some of them might have been held back. Especially them dudes who couldn't play their senior year.
Yeah.
But nah,
They was 20.
Nah, 19. In Alabama, if you hit it, I think in September, but it's a certain date in September. After that, you couldn't play. If you turn 19, I think. But it was just some people forcing. Man, we had guys on our team that was still working jobs during the season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's crazy.
So life was lifing even back then. Early, yeah. So
And that shows itself.
yeah, so you saw a more mature group of guys walking to a gym a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a bunch of kids. We weren't carefree. We was here for business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This was a business trip. So sometimes the parents on the other side of that field or the other side of that court looked at these grown looking ass men walking in, and like, now they're about to play against my kid who looks like a kid. You know what I'm saying? And it was usually more so spotted and spoke on by usually white parents.
communities. Yeah.
Those white parents. And then, I told you I had the experience playing summer league baseball. I was pitching. I was getting rocked. I was having the worst. Like, I was like, pull me. You know what I'm saying? Like, come get me. Like, yeah, like,
Help
I'm signaling to the bullpen.
Help me.
Give me the righty. Send the lefty in.
Anybody.
And he was like, nah, just shake it off. And this grandma a white grandma yelled from the stand, sit his nigger ass.
Whoa.
And I was like,
That shit ain't goddamn turning to nothing.
no, because it was only 3 black people on the team. We got recruited to come play with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's all about the numbers.
Nah.
It's about the numbers.
Bruh, like, my mom used to be like, I wouldn't go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't go play for them. But they like, no, we'll take care of everything. Like, they was giving me gas money to come to practice, shit like that. So I was like, all right, cool. It's baseball. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But when she said that, everybody looked at me and was like, and I was like, what the fuck y'all gonna say to her? The called a time he called out my coach. He didn't call both coaches like, hey, we need to figure out what's going on. He called my coach. He was like, hey, y'all need to figure out what y'all gonna do about that. And this was a white You know what I'm saying? So I said, don't worry about it. I just went and sat in the dugout. Like, I'm
done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll go sit. And the dude who grandma was, he was
Did exactly what she told us they had to do.
yeah, sit. I'm gonna sit my nigga ass. You know what I'm saying? But I had my choice words too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you said something.
Yeah, got to.
That sound like Byron.
And then when I say something, then now it's like, come on, calm down. And it's like, but y'all telling me to calm down. She's still at the game. Ain't nobody said nothing to her. And the dude came over. He apologized because he was like, man, it's my grandma. You know how the old one. You know what I'm saying? They just different. And I was like, yeah, I get that. But your mama sitting beside her. Your daddy sitting beside her, and ain't nobody saying shit to
checking.
her. Yeah.
So that means they agree with
so
it.
So then
in
when
my mind.
And if I check it, then it's like, hey, you out of line. You know what I'm saying? One, because you're a child, but two, stay in your place. That's how I would have took it. You know what I'm saying? So that started to set a different mindset early, and then I just saw, you know, you have your own experiences. It don't even take. Like, my mom would have never came home and been like, just dislike these white folks. You know what I'm saying? Because she had like a group of friends, and she had, in that friend circle, she had a couple of white women who she was that were just genuinely really good people. Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, shitty people come in any color. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It ain't about black or white. Because I got black homeboys that'll take Kenny and around the corner and beat the shit out of him just because he white. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll try to. You know what I mean?
Because they don't know what Kenny Kung Fu.
Exactly.
I ain't got none of them.
Like we had my high school, we probably had, man, maybe 20 white kids in the school.
Yeah.
Not just my graduating class.
We had less than that.
I'm talking about in the school. So
5.
5.
And people call them white, whatever their name was.
Yeah.
White Mike, White Kenny, White Chris. You know what I'm saying? And they was cool with it because they was like, this keeps me safe. This keeps me safe.
That's a term of endearment.
Yeah, exactly.
Acceptance.
And it was never like White Mike was the only one, in my opinion, that seemed more urban. Everybody else was still you know what I'm saying? They was still they self. You know what I'm saying? They ain't try to pretend to be, oh, what's up, my G? And they ain't do none of that shit. They was cool. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you stay within yourself, I felt like you was cool.
So is themselves, they just were more of a stereotypical white person because White Mike might have just, that's himself. Like Kenny is himself.
Yeah.
But
So
the
White Mike
stereotypical white person that we think is probably more like a little tighter.
So White Mike he actually lived in one of the trailer parks that went to our high school, right? He grew up in that neighborhood, had been there, from what I understand, all his life.
Yeah, so that was who he was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The other kids that we had were bussed in from the military base.
Okay.
So they weren't, and it was like, I actually have a Maxwell Air Force Base. Yeah. So these kids were kind of dropped into a situation, you know what I'm saying, just because their parents got stationed in Montgomery. So they weren't necessarily trying to conform, because it's like, shit, I might be leaving.
I'll be going.
I ain't trying to be white Chris and get too black and then don't know how, you know what I'm saying? Then I get sent to Germany. Now I'm just something completely different. So I thought it was dope that they stayed within themselves and not try to conform. But they were cool in their own right. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't try to do nothing different. It was funny because like we'll have a couple that might come out for football, they ain't stay long, but baseball season,
they was out there.
Boy, what?
They was out there.
Boy, what?
It's funny, like when I started doing travel ball for real, I was the only white guy on the team. So like I'd always play for those teams because those were my friends. They dads would be like, "Hey man, you're real good. You need to come play with us." Yeah. And that's who I travel with. And then I don't know how much y'all know about the Braves, but I played for Marquise Grissom.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Nah, I ain't like nobody on the Braves except Marquise Grissom, Fred McGriff, and I think Lofton played for us for a little while. Yep. That's all I knew. I ain't fuck with Sheffield for real, but
man. But that was a great experience to play for Grissom and play on his travel ball team. But it was, I mean, just a experience all the time. I mean, and going to all these tournaments and I guess being the only white guy was just like, I mean, y'all know how it is, just in flag alone, it's just normal. Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of white dudes out there.
No, you're not on our team.
Not leagues.
Yeah.
Him, the other dude with the long hair, I forget his name. Played with Brandon on Brandon.
Oh, yeah,
Brandon.
yeah.
Shit,
Oh,
I
yeah.
forget
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Brandon.
like that.
We got Brandon. Well, Jordan out there.
Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan out there.
You know
but
what's crazy? I feel like all of y'all are like I'm gonna say like you.
Yeah.
Like y'all have some type of relationship beyond the game with
Yeah.
black people.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, though, it's not the trying to act black.
Yeah,
They're very much so still themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's I like that part the most though. Like
especially the dude. I don't know his name. The doctor.
Rosie,
Yeah. Yeah.
that mother
Like
crazy.
He's crazy. Like,
yeah.
And he don't try to change that for nobody.
He'll walk out there with that ankle bracelet.
Yeah, ankle monitor still on.
The doctor does have an ankle
I was
monitor
like,
on.
bro, what's going on with? Like, should I be nervous about? What?
Who he played for?
He played with New Jack when we played with him.
Rosie.
I don't know where he
He
at.
was,
Oh, I know who y'all talking
Like,
about.
you play defensive line.
Crazy.
Crazy.
I know who y'all talking about. I know who y'all talking about.
I had a question that came up when Brian was talking. It's like, you know, black people, you say you're not real black. It's like you probably act white or you're Oreo or something. If somebody ever said like you not, you're not like me. Has anybody ever been like you not real white? And how do you sit with that?
Like a white person, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a white person say that to me. But like,
What about black people?
yeah, black people have called me a inside out Oreo or whatever all the time. And honestly, my wife's probably one of those people who you're like, she's an Oreo. Like but like, that's just because, and it's so crazy that's like, this is a thing, but like, it's because she's smart and she read books and like, that's where she got pushed because she didn't do all the crazy stuff.
Stereotypical.
Yeah, the stereotypical shit. So it's just like, but I mean, I've had the inside out Oreo, but I mean, it's never been like, I guess sometimes if it's somebody like I don't know, maybe it's like, it's almost like cool. Like
So that's what I was thinking. Like from your side, it might feel different.
You make me feel like I'm part of y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all respect me.
Yeah.
And that, so yeah, it is cool. But like, if I was to ever hear it from the other side, from like my white friends, to me, it's like, I already knew that. Like, I always feel distant.
Yeah.
Hanging out with my white friends.
I know
like,
I'm different. Yeah.
I got a white group of friends that I keep in touch with, but like, I know that like, I'm a lot of the times on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, you know, I don't know what changed, but like it's been like that for a long time. And so it's just
because I've of course been called an Oreo in my life, but just thinking about like both sides, I recently saw somebody in a workspace. What you laughing for? I said, of course. I recently saw somebody in a workspace say, older white guy tell a younger black guy, you're the whitest black guy I've ever met. And I'm thinking like, for a young black man, on either side, it doesn't feel good. Because if I'm with my homies and they call me an Oreo, shit don't feel good.
right.
And then to be around white folks and them tell me you're the whitest black guy or you're an Oreo, they probably won't use that terminology, but that's the intent.
Saying some shit like, you one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. But that don't feel good on either side.
I know.
I kind of low key want to just jump into the topic. I'm gonna say my piece about white folks real quick. What I felt about them. I was one of them kids that my parents were very open, and then I went to certain schools and situations where they were very open about our history. So we was watching Roots when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. It was like a weekly thing. We invite people over and sit down and watch it. So I got a negative connotation around white people.
At home?
Yeah, at home. At school, I went to a school called Imhotep Center of Education, which was centered around Afrocentric teachings and black empowerment. But of course, in times in black empowerment, you acknowledge white supremacy or suppression. So we watched Rosewood in school. So I had a very negative view of white people growing up.
With the Black Panther school, shit,
and not the superhero.
Yeah, not the superhero. God damn, that whole
They come to school all black on every day.
Watch Roots. God damn.
My first real interaction with white people was like I played soccer, so of course in totality in America it's more of a white sport. So growing up I played in my communities, but once I got to a certain ability we had to reach outside of what my community offered. So I ended up going to Fayetteville. Fayetteville is all white. So it was a culture shock for me to interact with people who seemed to feel like everything was supposed to be easy for them. Everything was hunky-dory, jolly, like we out here grinding while we joking around about everything. So I had to go through a mental shift. It probably took until, honestly, I got to the CFL for it to really show itself. But like I would be the one that would just put my headphones on and go sit in the corner because I'm like, one, I don't want to interact with y'all, and then two, I have nothing to bond with y'all about. I'm not from y'all world.
Yeah. But we don't have any, our in commons are very minimal.
Very minimal. Besides the fact that we 12 and we on the soccer field. I even remember going to a camp at Clemson, and this is when Snoop Dogg, the shizzle on my nizzle was real big. So all the white kids are saying it. And I'm like, man, what does that mean? And this white boy was like, you know. I was like, no, you tell me.
Oh, man.
He said, it means for sure, my nigga. And I said, bah! Smacked him straight across his face. That's probably the last in the streets physical altercation I got into. But yeah,
Did you win?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the one. That's the one.
Hey, look, you can't.
Thank you.
No, I got two. I got three. But you can't. In our mind, you can't lose that fight.
Listen, I was gonna say that about sports.
Yeah.
Like we played a white team.
So
it wasn't even no motivational speech. You were like, y'all ain't finna let these white boys come here and beat y'all.
So I was gonna ask you, when does it become that white boy nice, or we can't lose to them white boys?
I think definitely in college.
Christian,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you run into an athlete.
You know what I mean,
bro. It was a group of brothers in Montgomery. Damn, what was them boys' last name?
Brothers and black.
No, brothers and
related.
brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. But they came from bread. Like they dad was like he owned like a realty business, like he was a realtor, and he was, you know what I'm saying, a broker and everything. Man, I can't remember his name, man, but they went to a private school, so we automatically, like, private schools were smaller, right? So it was like 1A, 2A, maybe 3A at the biggest. So we was like, ain't no competition down there. The only thing in Montgomery that was close to competition was a school called St. Jude, and the motherfuckers used to recruit. They just come to the high schools, and they may not get the best athlete, but they'll get the second best.
That's what the sick children.
That's how St. Paul was.
But no, that's a hospital. But we talking about goddamn. But we talking about just a private school. Anywho, they had athletes. They had athletes. That school was across the street from my school. So we used to, when we ran track, we practiced with them. We had scrimmages in basketball against them, but we never played them in a regular. When I was there, we didn't play them in a regular season.
Yeah.
But they eventually, man, they had athletes, bro. Like they ran the shit out of 1A in all sports, right? But anyways, this kid.
Cause look, honestly, once you get to a certain age, athleticism is great, but technique,
yeah,
functionality, and knowledge.
These brothers I'm talking about were that.
Yeah.
So. The oldest one, he played against us in basketball. He ended up going to Arkansas. He could play. He wasn't athletic, but fundamentally sound. His IQ.
Jokic. Okay, my bad.
His IQ for the game was different, right? His younger brother, that was like maybe a year or two under him, ended up going to Auburn when he played tight end and fullback. Motherfucker was like 6'5", 260 coming out of high school. They had a little brother under him, got drafted to go play baseball straight out of high school. When I say these motherfuckers was athletes, and I'm not talking like oh, you alright. Nah, like when we went and played them at the Y, like when we went to like man, let's go to the Y on the other side of town. We're gonna go over there and play them boys. Man, listen, you walked out that motherfucker, you was like, hey, y'all can hoop. Y'all can play. One of them name was Bart, Brent. I can't remember the little one name, but they played. You know what I'm saying? They understood the game. They could play. They had IQ, and that was the biggest thing because whatever they lacked in athleticism, they made up for it in IQ. So I think once you get to like those last few years of high school, and when you get into the college levels, you realize
that
like
color shit don't matter.
Yeah, because like the kid right now, the number one player out of high school basketball is a kid. I want to say they live in Maine. He lives in Maine. This motherfucker's 6'10" and can go. You know what I'm saying? So at some point you gotta be like, you gotta put that shit aside and be like, how can I stop him?
Nah, he hard.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
I seen him last year.
Yeah, he can go.
Go ahead.
You talking about Flag?
Yeah,
he's different.
Cooper Flag. Yeah.
He's different. He's different for sure. But I was gonna say like, growing up, being athletic is like I could play any sport. I could play any position on the diamond.
You said growing up. Okay,
on the baseball field. I could play any position. I also hooped. I also played football. I was athletic. I was fast. Everything was cool. And like whenever I would go like north or play with the white people, like I was the best out there. I was one of the best. I was dogging people. Like, I felt good. And then like to come back home and hoop with my homeboys, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna get back to my role playing shit. Just like for real.
What's
like
crazy? Like I told you what my position was in football. I was a kicker when I first started, and I would like play a little receiver in practice. But when I would go play soccer with my white teammates, I was the best athlete in any field we ever touched. I was the roughest, toughest, skilled, but as soon as I came back home,
get your ass
Get back to where I am.
To finish though, like
so we getting off subject, but maybe that's a confidence thing though. Like maybe you still could have been that person where you was. You just didn't show it.
I think a part of it was they had attacked your confidence early.
I think it was more like pure athleticism at a young age overcomes what I had.
Okay.
So kids I was going to school with in high school, straight athletes. I mean, from Cam down.
Yeah.
So it's like my athleticism wasn't dominant
It wasn't that
for
level.
that.
But when I went, my athleticism was dominant enough there. Okay. I just had developed enough IQ to sustain myself there too. So you got an athlete that knows shit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna reign supreme. But when I come home, I know some shit. But them motherfuckers,
they go right out. Some people just and they wake up with it.
Yeah, like I didn't play pad football until my freshman year of high school, and like playing in the backyard with all my friends, I was never scared to hit nobody. I was never scared to get hit. I was one of the fastest out there. I had one juke move that just worked all the time.
Every time.
And that's what I used. You know what I'm saying? And I was just quick enough to get out of there. And I always could catch because, I don't know, like, catching just comes easy. I guess because I've been catching the football.
Catch like a motherfucker.
I've been catching the baseball like
big,
man. Like I just
you surprised the fuck out of me.
That nigga catch.
And I mean, like I like to catch. So it's just it was just. But I get out there in the pads and like. Ain't nobody scared to hit. Ain't nobody scared to shoot. Ain't nobody.
That's why they give you this equipment.
Dang.
The field get a little more level for everybody.
Like,
You put them pads on.
Them shorts and helmet, the motherfucker.
Man,
So when them shoulder pads on, but
I said people disappear.
We used to meet up with
Everybody be looking good in the summer.
yeah.
You be like, oh man, you're a dog. You put them pads on. Somebody put them hands on.
Age, like the veterans, they be like, just wait till we get the pads on.
shorts and helmet.
Oh, that shit cool.
In the spring, I used to tell Alright, shots to him.
Yeah.
Ah, you doing your thing.
Man.
As soon as them boy come on, I want that same
whole
energy.
different world.
Listen, shit, what'd you say? They in the back. hey, shots to him. Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
Last week? Yeah, come on, same shit. Come on, give it to me.
We used to meet up like with the private schools, cause like, I mean, I'm finna show y'all we better than y'all, cause we don't play against y'all. Show y'all, man. I used to like, I wasn't even like one of the big dogs on campus. You know what I mean? Like at my high school, especially on the football team. So I knew this kid that played running back at this high school, and he was getting recruited by Division I schools. And I'm like, well, let's run hit up. Like, you got the ball. Let's see who that.
Oh,
and
he was bad,
he didn't want to
yeah.
play. He wasn't with that.
Yeah.
He was scared of me. And it's not like I was bigger than him or whatever. It's just like, and I'm just like, y'all can't be good over there. But then to come to find out, he was like, I think they had 3 seniors that year.
Yeah.
And he was a senior. And it's just like, that's crazy, bro. Like I don't even know how to. I could be the best of 3 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just.
I do have a
for real.
question. I got a question, and this will probably walk us right into what we were talking about.
I wanted to finish my.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Fuck,
Go ahead,
we don't get to what we here for.
Right.
Yeah, this is how I was gonna lead us into.
Okay.
Go ahead, my
So
bad.
I was all of that stuff I told y'all gave me the mindset of really like hating white people as a youth, and then it wasn't until I got to the CFL. Really, I'm 24 years old, like still hating white people. But this white guy, we was walking in the rain to a morning meeting at 7 a.m. in Winnipeg, Canada, Winnipeg, Manitoba. And this guy stops and like, he saw we had Winnipeg book bags on. He's like, y'all need a ride? And of course, me, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you can't help me, bro. But it's like downpour rain. We don't have no umbrella. We just getting drenched. So we soaking wet. And my partner looked at me, he's like, let's do it. Bro, we hopped in this car, soaking wet, this white guy, drove us the mile that it was to the stadium and dropped us off. No Uber, no none of that. I just saw y'all needed some help. Got out the car, and he said, do you want me to take you back when y'all done? I'm like, what the fuck? We said, nah, we straight, because we're going to be there. He don't know how long. We're going to be there for like 8 hours. It's a work day. So we go get out the car, and I'm like, damn, that's just a good ass person. And we go straight into practice and all that. At the end of the day, we go to chapel. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to get my mental straight because I'm up and down. Don't know if football is gonna be the thing. And we go in there, and this white guy, he's like talking about like how to overcome the demons, the thoughts that you're going through. He mentioned like if somebody that helped you along your journey that you never said thank you to, that you didn't know that even impacted your life. And it's this lady that gave me the opportunity. She's the one that signed the whatever to get me to be a walk-on at A&T. So she actually created the opportunity for me to have the opportunity. So that touched me. I'm like, I got this monumental thought or appreciation from this white dude. So my mind just started to change. I'm just like, it's just about being good people. And no matter what a group's history is, each person is a different person. And I need to be open and okay with understanding who that person is. Coming from a person who was filled with hate to now being open and appreciative for each individual person. So the transition is your son is going to be a person that is looked on from different perspectives as something that he is or may not be. You are a person who probably is the best representation of a white father with a black son because you have that original connection with that community. But how do you, or what do you see or feel like you need guidance in or help in or intentionality in to help him not hate parts of himself, but then not hate other people who are trying to impact him?
Well, I know that. I think I told Brandon. I probably told Wally too. But I told them that like one of the biggest things that is like having my friends that are black and men now, and we grew up together and stuff like that, is just like it. I need them to be a part of my life because like I don't know how it's like to grow up to be black. I mean, and I have to teach that to my son.
Right.
Like, hey, not everybody's gonna like you just because of your skin color. And I mean, I don't know how to, like, there's gonna be certain things that happen in life that, like, I don't even know how to explain to him or how to maybe even get him out of the situation. Like, getting pulled over by one of those cops.
Right.
I've never had to worry about that.
Yeah.
Never had to worry about that. But now I have 2 boys that one day might have to worry about that.
Right.
And I have to, and I have a great father-in-law. I call him my dad. Like,
Yeah.
he's one of the best men in my life. He's a great man. And it's like, I have him to talk to his grandkids, you know, and just be like, hey, this is what it is. But also, like, hearing it from your uncles, you know what I mean? It's how, you know, Tim, Kari, my guys, those are my kids' uncles. It's like, hey, it might sound better instead of coming from your old grandpa.
Granddad,
you know what I mean?
And I feel like that's the point of community, because a message that I can deliver, it might be better coming from somebody that might seem to have more connection. You got an uncle who went to the league. Dad might be saying these things, but that dude that went to the league come and tell you, oh, I believe you.
Right.
But sometimes it don't even gotta be, not to say that deep, or even as deep as with your situation. Sometimes just hearing it from other people.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, my mom used to say shit,
Yeah.
beating it into my head. One person could come along and be like, hey man, I'm telling you, taking that trash, knowing that you gotta take that trash out, gonna change your life. I'd be like, bet.
Let me think.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I need to hear. It sometimes just hearing it from somebody outside. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you know your like my mom and my dad telling me this, and you feel like as a kid you like, man, you just don't want me to have fun. Like
It do hit different.
yeah, but and hearing it, but I think it's huge I think as a dad, a huge part for you is making sure you choose the right village.
Right.
Like making sure you got the right uncles around them.
Right.
Because it could be your people that you used to fuck with. Because we all got friends. I'm sure we all got friends that we used to fuck with heavy.
Yeah.
And you can't let them be an uncle to your kid.
But I think that was what I was about to say. I think we know.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's picking his village. You know what I'm saying? Because
Wiley talked to him about this.
yeah,
Now I let Byron talk to him about
it's
this.
still picking your village. Yeah, picking your village and knowing who to go to for different things.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge. Like you said, granddad, of course, is always a good thing because that's closest, and it could be the best of intentions. But like you said, hearing it from your uncle who ain't far removed from it, you know what I'm saying? It's something different because you know the things that our dads or your dad, your father-in-law may say was from his time. Now we in something different, and
Tim might have a little bit better insight.
Exactly. So I think choosing your village is huge. Let me ask you a quick question, and this for everybody too. Like, have you, like, in your opinion, do you feel one community has been more open and receiving, like open arms to you? Because I got
To you, your relationship, and your children.
yeah. Because I know like I said, when we were younger, we like the worst it got was White Mike. You know what I'm saying? It never took off. But and we still open, you know what I'm saying? We still open arms, like, oh man, White Mike cool. You know what I'm saying? You want to drink with us? You sit around, we talk shit.
But that was because White Mike was more relatable to you.
But how about to say even White Chris, but even the other kids who weren't necessarily from our neighborhood, we were still, you know what I'm saying? Like we were still open to them. I saw a thing recently where this lady was saying if she told her kids, if you get lost, or if, you know what I'm saying, if you can't find me, find a black man, he'll help you before a white man would. And this was a white woman. She told her kids that. She said, because she said, I feel like this black man isn't going to take my child. Worst case scenario, he'll get them to a police officer or somebody who can help them better than he can. She said, but I would, like, she said, my fear is my kid trusting some white man, and we know that white men do certain things with kids. And I was like, sounds fair. Like,
so Kenny, what's your answer?
and I'm not necessarily saying not to go as far as go to a black man or a white man, but has there been a community that was more has the white community been more open arms with you and your family, or was the black community a little more open?
It could be my fault, right? Like the way I look at it is like it could be my fault in a sense of like I'm closer with my wife's family.
Yeah.
So like it's easier for them to be more open. Yeah. And like I've always been. I love my mama to death. So we sit here and I can talk to my mom about anything, and like we're a happy family over there. But it's just like I've been through some bad stuff with them too. Mm-hmm. I've been through bad experiences with them, and we've worked through all this stuff together, and I'm a man doing it. Yeah. When I was doing the bad experiences with my moms, I was a kid. Yeah. I couldn't help the situation. I couldn't help her. So it's just like the things are just so when I say it's my fault, even y'all have seen my boys and stuff like that, and it's just like some of my friends that I grew up with that are white never seen my kids. Yeah. And like it's not on purpose, but like their interactions with me and the things they want to do, it's not kid friendly. It's not something that is just like, hey, let's go hit the bars, and get drunk all night. It's like, okay, I gotta find a babysitter.
Right.
You gotta bring them with you, man.
Just the experiences that they are in their lives just ain't the same as mine. Yeah. So maybe that's being a young parent too. I'm gonna be 40, my kid gonna be 18. Like, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'll be 38 really, and he'll be 18, and that's just like. I'm done, you know what I'm saying?
Never.
I'm 36. Goddamn. God damn.
No, it's just crazy to think, and it's so I'm gonna take the blame and just be like, the black community has opened up to me.
Embraced you all.
Yeah, definitely embraced us, but at the same time, I don't know.
Do you have a lot of, I'm gonna say, stereotypical white family? Like, is most of your family like you?
So
his mama was white.
So
that was her inside, not necessarily like who she was.
Yeah. So my mom just caring, man. She just care about everybody. She loves everybody. No. My mom's so happy, dude. She love everybody, man, and she's funny. She
oh shit.
My mom actually was like she was
that's fun.
A disability PE teacher when I was growing up.
Okay.
Really?
So like,
she got hella patience.
So I mean, she just loved the kids,
Love,
man. She just loved, and that's just how she is. And we
Disability P teacher.
my sister, I mean, her best friend was black growing up.
Yeah.
My best friend was black growing up. My brother best friend black. Well, my brother was a little bit different. He had black friends, but his best friend was white growing up.
Yeah.
But I mean, my brother's the one who introduced me to everything. I mean, music, sports, just in general. I mean, my brother was 14 years older than me, and he was taking care of me a lot.
Yeah.
Until he had to go to college and do his own thing. You know what I mean? Like those years when he was trying to figure out how to be an adult,
Right.
was just like me trying to figure out how to be a kid without him.
Yeah.
And so the rest of my family, like my cousins and stuff, they all like my brother's age. So like they 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even talk to them.
Yeah. You just
So I
didn't
mean,
have
like,
this different
yeah,
connection with
I don't have no family other than my family.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, it's so funny. Like, I've been going to my wife's cousin house since I was 14.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just
crazy.
normal.
That's
like,
all you know, though.
yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
I've been going to grandma's house since I
I
was
got another
16.
question I'm not gonna
And just
ask.
like, I mean, it's different because like they were so close, man.
Yeah.
They're just such a close family. Like those, they would take family vacations with the whole
With
family.
everybody.
Just
Take them in a van.
just last March, I mean, like 50 of us went to Jamaica.
Oh, like the
The whole family.
especially back in the day, they used to do the big family reunion trip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't
50
family reunion here. It was family reunion in Florida. Everybody take their
Everybody
family
down
to see
there.
y'all there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't ever get to go to the Disney trips, but apparently they used to go to Disney every year with the whole family.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and that's, I mean, I
Yeah, we
went to
tried
Disney
that.
with my family, you know, but like never, it was
The cousins, the
me,
uncles,
my
aunties.
sister, and my mom.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Yeah.
But, I
That
mean,
shit's so fun. It's like he living like a reversed life. You know what I mean? Like that's usually the white people doing this shit, and then the black people like, shit, we ain't really do that like that. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me
Man,
ask you this. You was gonna say something?
I think the family dynamics have changed, especially over the years. I think if your family make that conscious decision to stay close, I think it changes.
Yeah.
Because I remember like we used to joke with this dude that played football with us. Like, man, you got any cousins? He was like, yeah, but like we don't really talk to them that much.
No,
And
my friends bring that up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, man, you ain't got no cousins. Like that white people don't got cousins. And it's like, I ain't got no close cousins. You right?
Yeah, like-
I don't keep up
like
with
a
my
lot
cousins.
of times, like for a number of reasons, it's like their sibling relationships fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't be close. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah, my sister live in Denver.
yeah, and
I see
like,
her
yeah,
at Christmas.
and you live in New York. That person lives in New York, and they got another cousin another brother that lives in Florida.
I work with a guy. He
And
has
they-
6 kids. Look, all of them valedictorians, but all of them live in different parts. And the only time they get together is Thanksgiving, Christmas.
So then when they see
That's
their
it.
cousins, it's like they friends. Like I got to see my
lost.
friend. Yeah, I get to see my friend again. And it's not like how we are with our cousins. Like we
Yeah. family.
I'm a little different because I was middle child to the whole family, the whole structure. I had a whole bunch of, my brother is 18 years older than me. My sister is 13, so all the other cousins were around that age. Whether I think the closest one I had above me is 10 years. He was 10 years old when I was born. And then below me is just my sister, and then everything else is at
Younger.
least 6 years below me.
Yeah.
So I ain't really grew up with cousins that I was like going
Same
out. I was
age,
just going
yeah.
to fuck with my older cousins, like beat them up,
Yeah.
act like I was beating them up,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
just trying to mentor my younger cousins. So I never really had nobody that was
With
really
you.
in my
Yeah,
circle.
that's
Yeah,
how
like
I felt.
all my cousins were older. Like I said, like my brother's age, and like they were older than him, and but it's like my mom's cousins, so my second cousins, they had kids around my age, but like I saw them less than I saw my cousins.
Yeah.
And it was cool when we was young. You know what I'm saying? Kids gonna play.
Right.
But once we started getting to be teenagers and stuff like that, it was like,
Different interests.
yeah, we don't know how to like almost interact with each other. And like, I mean, my second cousins was athletic and they played sports and they was more like me.
Yeah.
But
It would have been cool to be around.
it would have been cool to be around them, but it's just like, I don't know. I mean, they was only a year older than me, but they acted like I was still a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't. It was just because we never got to interact with each other, really.
We're talking about teenagers. At what age do you start talking to your son about his race, his ethnicity, the differences that he needs to be aware of?
My son already knows that, like, he's black, I'm white, like, and
How
that
old is he?
he's be 8 in August.
8. Okay.
And like he knows the difference, but he doesn't know that there could be bad people just because of the color of our skin.
I think that comes later in the conversation, though.
Yeah, what I really hope is that it
should
doesn't
know,
happen after a situation.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
But I mean, just like my parents let me be a kid until it was like, okay, so hey, now you're at this age. This comes with this age. This could happen.
And there are people out here.
I mean, is it like the birds and the bees?
See what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean?
Yeah, I think it's that same type of conversation, because a kid still has to be a kid because he's not really dealing with that shit as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But as he becomes middle school to high school, I think that's the time. Just
Start
with the
being
sex
aware.
conversation.
Look, once you start letting them do things on their own, they need to be
Yes.
aware
Yeah.
of their surroundings as best as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
remember turning 16. Hey, you driving now? Da 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 da. Remember turning 18. You can go to real jail.
Yep.
Got you, Pop. I know they get fucked in jail. I'm not going.
So you talk to your son about like race already?
I mean, it's just kind of, it just kind of came up at one point. It was just kind of like, I don't know what it was, but he was like, "Dad, you're white. Mom's black. I'm brown." And just kind of, and like eventually we just talked about it one time, just like, "Hey, you know what you saying?"
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, no, he thought it was just, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Color's color at the end of the day.
So go ahead, Wallace. What's your
And
next
it's
question? I know what he's trying to get at. Go ahead.
Nah, that was it.
That was it. Okay.
What you think he was trying to get at? Do you want to ask the question?
Ask that
Is your
question.
son allowed to say nigga in the
Oh,
house?
hey, what's crazy? What's crazy? That wasn't the next question, but I was actually, because I wanted to kind of get some perspective, honestly, of your son before this conversation. And I was listening to this guy. He was talking about like his white family, his black family, and then he was around his black cousins, and they were saying the N-word, and he was like, "That's a bad word." But then they was like, "Nah, you straight." He was like, "I can say it." So he said he went home and was jumping on the bed and said,
Wildin'. Wildin'.
I mean,
Shit, that's funny.
I don't know. I think it's the group that you're with
Yeah.
when it comes to that. And then, I mean, I'm real bad on like picking up people mannerisms. So like, if you just sitting here cussing a whole bunch and doing this and talking, and I'll probably start cussing a whole bunch in my conversation.
Yeah.
So like, it's real like hard to really like think about it sometimes. And I got a friend who's half white and half black, and like, I mean, everybody give him shit for it. Like, they told him this past February, they was like, "Hey man, you only get to celebrate the first half." like the second half not for you.
Yeah.
And like, but he's real big on, like, he'll say, "Bro, it's just words." And it's like, yeah, to you maybe, you know what I mean? And like, to not that's just not how everybody feels.
Yeah.
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 And
That's good to realize that.
And I ain't never been big on talking about it or nothing like that. So I'm good with being me, and that's it.
I feel it.
So that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So like, and I know your boys are young. So far, what's been the toughest part as a parent, white or black? What's been the toughest part that you've experienced or had to deal with?
They just like me, man. They hard headed as fuck. So whooping their ass.
Just some parents.
Yeah,
Being
just on some regular
parents,
parents
man.
shit.
I think like the soft parenting, you know, like, and it's so funny, like growing up knowing my wife's parents were super strict, and like now
They soft as fuck.
they soft.
They grandparents. They grandparents. They're not parents no more. They grandparents.
It's so crazy.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's so crazy.
Because they play cupcake and then send them home to you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then especially you knowing her since high school, so you really
done
know.
seen
You
it.
really know they. So what the fuck?
No, I mean, like, me and her dad are like, I mean, like, not only I call him my dad, he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And, like, well, we were just last night sitting outside, smoking a cigar, hanging out. And I've had the conversation with him, like, how did you feel back then, like, this little white boy trying to come into your life? And, like, he didn't see it lasting. He thought it was a phase, this and that.
sure.
And just like, and like, after, I mean, he got to watch me grow up, got to watch me become a man. And like, I mean, without him, I wouldn't have seen how to raise kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's top tier
Yeah.
as a
I'm
father.
gonna tell you what's cool about that. What I think is dope. You just pull from wherever any resources. Like, 'cause
Don't matter what the color.
yeah, I got a homeboy. He didn't have his dad growing up. He got married maybe a couple years out of high school, right? And I was like, bro, like, and him and his wife been together since then. They had raised kids, everything. I was like, bro, like, you grew up like I ain't know your dad. I ain't saying that you didn't, but I know I ain't never seen him. Like, what made you jump into a marriage so early? He was like, he said, I loved it. And I was like, well, what was your example? He was like, man, I'll be honest with you, the Cosby Show. He was like, I watched Bill Cosby, and I saw the way he took care of his kids. He sat down and talked to him even when he was gonna punish him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, him and Claire, I don't think I ever saw an episode where they went to bed mad at each other. You know what I'm saying? They might have been upset, but they still tried to talk it out. He was like, so I just tried to, you know what I'm saying? I modeled that in my marriage, and I was like, that's dope. Like, that's when you literally just pull from whatever resources you got. So I think, like you said, like, I wouldn't have saw what raising kids look like.
Yeah.
And that's cool. So you just pull from it.
And like, nowadays it's not so much the stereotype, but like the fathers that went to go get the milk and didn't come back.
Yeah.
And like my father-in-law being a black father and being 100% in his kid's life is just like, it's so uplifting for me. I mean, like, my dad was around sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how it was. But like,
There's some good times.
I always had him. You know, I always had my father-in-law. So like, whenever I had a real problem, I called him. Like
Yeah.
and
cool.
I mean,
That's dope.
he one of those dads, like, he just know how to do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, work on the truck, or you need something done in the house, he know how to do
A
it.
man's man.
Yeah.
My
I mean,
granddad, that shit scared
he
me.
is.
I'm gonna tell you what's cool though, that he's been a part of your village, like, since you needed a village.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Like,
Yeah.
before
that's some
you,
guy shit right there.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
He was placed in your life
as a kid.
At the right time.
Yeah, like he damn near helped raise you and his daughter. And then y'all just happened to get married.
For real.
That's real cool, bro.
For real.
They just gave me some grandkids.
Exactly.
That's all he wanted. Hey, I think an underlying thing, I think Byron actually exposed it, is like your mindset in moving forward with your family, raising your children, continue to grow with your wife, is you use your resources. You use your resources when you were young. You use your resources when you got in a relationship with your girl. You use your resources as a father from the people that have shown you that they have value to give to your family. So that's something that I will take away from this, is making sure, because I honestly have said it before, I don't do the best job of using my resources when I know I've got people that have bought houses, and people have done real estate, raised kids, ascended in their careers. Like I'm a fighter in my own space, but I don't have to fight as much when I can pull from the knowledge that's already been done.
I think that's a really big thing as a man that people don't understand. They're like, asking for help ain't hard, or it ain't a bad thing. Yeah. It might be hard.
That shit ain't, I was about to say, that shit ain't easy.
It ain't easy, but it ain't a bad thing to ask for help.
Yeah.
And that's something like, I mean, we were raised to just take it on the chest. Like, you
keep it moving.
Yeah, just keep it moving. And like, I don't know what it was that clicked one day or whatever, but like, man, I am going to ask for help. I'm going to ask for guidance, whatever you think. And it might be bad. You know, I can see asking for too much help or asking for help from the wrong person being a bad thing. Yeah. But you know who to ask. Yeah. You know the good people. Yeah. You know who you want to be like. And I had my brother who was really good, and my father-in-law, and that's who I asked. Yeah. When I got in tough spots, that's who I asked. Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to ask for help, but I mean, we got to. Yeah. And what sucks is like how much the economy and the generations have changed, because like my father-in-law bought a house. I've never bought a house, but I look for guidance in him. But he bought a house 20 years ago. Yeah. He can't really help me. He can't really help me. Shit today.
he can tell you what he knows.
He's like, you need to go on the website, fill out some shit.
He can tell you what he knows. Because I mean, the base is you probably need a loan. You need to make sure you get a down payment saved up. Those are some basic things. Yeah. Now it's like, all right, well, there are actually grants for maybe my situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's programs that
different. What the interest rate is going to affect the PMI. Yeah. I don't know if PMI was a thing back then.
You get popped them numbers today. You go, shit, son.
God damn.
Hey, you stay in the basement.
Hell
yeah. Hey, as we bring this to a close, man, I just want to truly say thank you. I appreciate you wanting to be here, to be able to be open. Because this is not a easy conversation for everybody to have, so I appreciate you being able to step out here with us to support us. One last thing I always like to ask every guest that we have, if there was one dime that you would like to leave for our viewers, what would it be?
Man, I guess, I mean, you could take it from the podcast, you know, but like, just respect others, man. Just, you don't know what everybody's going through. You don't know their situation. Even the crazy people, you know what I mean? Like they got trust issues for a reason, and it's hard to go through all these motions of life. And I said it earlier, life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
So just
that's a good one right there.
Respect all people, man. What Byron said. Shit. We appreciate it. I also got to thank you again, because you see the underrated is showing out today, man. Showing out
big
today.
Time,
gonna cover it up.
Oh, I thought I was being cool.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
But nah, I appreciate you. Like, Kenny came to the team, and I've been on this team for 5 years. The first person on my team to order something from my website was Kenny.
Dang.
I thought
Yeah.
people bought books from you though.
No, I said
Order
order something
something from the
web-
website.
From the
Nigga, that
website.
website only been up 3 months, nigga.
Nah, it's been on
Hey.
longer than Dropping Dimes. So when you see who
Nah,
has
we
it, watch that
appreciate
fucking website.
And he the only white person on the team.
Exactly. So I
He
appreciate
the
you.
little Pee-wee.
Nah, for real.
Man, I'm so tired of that. Man.
That's
so
funny.
But I
tired of that.
appreciate you coming in every space, and then even wanting to be here, you show a heart of support, and that's one of the things we talk about all the time as being monumental for men to have in relationships. So thank you, bro.
Yeah, man, we definitely do appreciate you. As always, go by www.droppingdymes.com. Dimes with a Y.
With a Y.
Pick something up. We're gonna have the Kung Fu Kenny t-shirts on there coming soon. I'm not sure how true that is. That's probably a lie.
Hey, we could do something.
But
Just gotta
we
do a
do got the
contract.
nose rings. I got a confirmation email on that
Got
saying the
it.
nose rings is coming in.
On your face, though.
We're gonna have the toasters soon. We're trying to get a good plug in China.
But until we get all that, get a t-shirt.
Get a t-shirt,
Or a sweatshirt.
a hoodie,
Sweatshirt.
a sweatshirt.
Feel good,
something.
man.
We still got the classics
Nice
here.
on your skin.
We're gonna get Kung Fu Kenny in one of these t-shirts, man, so that we can make sure he letting his people out in Chambly know
I'm definitely getting one.
that they can fuck with us.
Ellenwood.
Ellenwood
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Chambly.
yeah,
He still
yeah,
got
yeah.
his people in
I got
Chambly.
people in Chambly.
You
I got
gotta go
people
back
in
to his
Chambly.
roots,
Gotta
man.
go back home.
But yeah, swing by the website, man. Check it out. Pick something up. Also, if you haven't yet, go to YouTube, subscribe, share, comment. I saw not Kung Fu Kenny, but KC.
Yeah,
subscribe.
subscribe.
And we appreciate you. We appreciate anybody that do. Trust me.
Still aiming for that goal.
We still shooting for the 1K.
354 right now.
Yeah, we still shooting for the 1K. Subscribe, share, comment, hit that bell. Tell your
Gotta get
friends
there to get to
to
1,000.
tell their friends to
About
come,
your friends, man.
so we can all be friends. All right.
sir.
We gonna hey man, check us out on all these social media platforms. Come be a friend over there.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to jump in and subscribe, come jump on these social media
leave a
platforms. See
comment.
what we got.
Leave a recommendation for us to sing, because you see how bad we sound. Maybe you
Yeah.
just want to
And-
laugh at somebody.
And
one day.
also, if you got
fuck
topics,
me song today.
if it's something that you want us to talk about, if it's something that you want us to talk about, something that you just want to hear a different perspective,
Right.
Because trust me,
That's the biggest
these
thing.
perspectives that sit up here is different. His is different from his, and they both of them probably gonna be different from mine.
Here's special.
But as always, man, we love you. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks to Kenny for
Appreciate
coming
you,
through.
Kenny.
And
Andrew.
if all hearts and minds are clear,
All good, baby.
All good.
appreciate you. Love you.
Appreciate y'all.
It's boy the bit dropping down.
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I ride, I just hope I don't cry. I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting.
This ain't no intro, this an entree. Hit that intro with Kanye, it sound like Andre. Trying to turn my baby mama to my fiance. She like music, she from Houston, like Auntie Beyonce. But my daughter couldn't have a better mother. If she ever find another, he better love her. Man, I swear my life is perfect, I can merge it. If I die, I'll probably cry at my own son.